Hey everybody, this is Velvet Arson, and today I'm going to be telling you reasons to why I will never, I can't be an EVS worker anymore. Like, okay, so for the ones who are, asking like what's the EVS worker, so basically I don't do it anymore, but an EVS worker they work in hospitals. They clean and sanitate hospital rooms, surgery rooms, take care of trash and pick up, it's, basically EVS workers, they keep the hospital clean, and they're keyword, very important, keyword important, because if it wasn't for EVS workers, you guys would be going to dirty hospitals and getting procedures in dirty hospitals, and who would want to do that? Because that's crazy, because no. So anyway, yeah, and I'm going to be telling you I'm giving you guys some really good reasons to why I can't work in that type of field anymore, because actually my reasons are very valid. It's not an excuse. Well, it can be, but they're really valid. So first, wait, let's just talk about my experience, and then I'm just gonna go down the list for you. So for my experience, I worked in a couple of hospitals as an EVS worker, and honestly, it was hell. Oh my god, like you have to clean hospital rooms. You have to clean up, let's see, what else do you have to clean up? You have to clean up lounges, the lobby, procedure room, surgery room. You know what I mean? Like you have to basically clean, basically you're cleaning up, you're keeping the hospital clean and the rooms clean and everything. And you have to get these rooms done within a certain time. Oh man, you have to deal with co-work. Like I had some wild not like say wild co-workers, but in that type of field, you're going to have some messy co-workers. And 9 times out of 10, your messy co-workers are very, 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 very old. I mean, no tea, no shade. I'm gonna be old too. I mean, I'm gonna look good when I'm old, but you know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, like the people who are messy, they're really 9 times out of 10, it's an old woman that who would be so messy. Not say messy as in like, she's not cleaning up her area, or like she didn't do the room clean. It's more like a drama, and and keep in mind, this is like somebody's grandma doing all this at work. And it's not just older people your age or around your age. Like being an EVS worker, you have like at least 5-6 people telling you what to do. You have your coworkers telling you what to do. You have your boss telling you what to do. You have your supervisor telling you what to do. You have the nurses telling you what to do. The doctors telling you what to do. Surgeons telling you what to do. Like it's so many people telling you what to do, especially at the same time. It's overwhelming. Oh, it is so overwhelming to the point where you're like, dang, like why am I doing this? And of course, like you want to make money. This is a job. You get your coins. That's what you're supposed to do. But it's like this job it's so stressful, and it's like you would see things, you would clean some things, and honestly, the pay it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I understand if they had like a higher pay rate, because come on now, you have to clean up you have to sanitize and clean before the surgery, and you have to clean up after the surgery. See, cleaning up after, like it's like when you clean up before the surgery, you're wiping things down, you make sure it's clean, sanitized, but after the surgery is what you should be worried about, because after the surgery, you gotta like think about it, you're mopping, you're sweeping, but that's not but that's not all. Like you would have like blood, and you'll see body parts, you'll see blood, skin tissue on the floor, on the wall. Sometimes there'll be blood on the ceilings, blood in the bed, like blood everywhere. And you would have to, like, I remember when I had to clean up this, like it's insane. Like I swear I saw and I kid you not, I saw somebody's foot on the surgery table after amputation. Like that's how like behind, like, just walk. I didn't say I watched it, but just to see somebody's foot on the table after amputation is like wild. Like, it was wrapped up, but you could tell it's a foot. And I'm just like, I don't, and it's like, I wasn't scared or nothing. Like, I did my dues and everything. I worked, but it's like the type of workload that you would have to do as an EVS worker. It is insane. It is insane. And don't clean up a room and you leave one speck. You could leave one speck. Like, okay, imagine cleaning up a room and it could be like a little speck of, oh, don't let it be a speck of blood. Because say if you clean up a room and you left like a little speck of blood, you could get in trouble for that. Like, people would, like, not even say your coworkers, but like the higher ups could take pictures of that. And like, literally they can get you in trouble. Like, you can get in trouble for that. So the job is very nerve-wracking, and some people could do it for years. Some people actually enjoy it. Some people have done it for years, but it's just, honestly, I've done it before, of course, but it's just the pay, because the average pay that I've had would be at least, I would say it would be at least 15 to 17, 15.50 or 17.50 an hour. But the last job that I worked at, the last hospital that I worked at, I was making $19. I was making 19 an hour, only because I was working through a temp. I didn't work through the hospital. I was working through the temp. But tell me why, like, they're telling me, like, Taylor, they're like, just work through the hospital, and if you work through the hospital, you'll get benefits, this and that, whatever. But the thing is, though, they were going to pay, say if I switched to working through the hospital, I was going to get $15 an hour. So it's like, I'm taking off $4. You know what I mean? Like, that's $4 left. And I'm just like, ugh. My pay is already, like, my pay, it wasn't that bad, but it feels like we should, it should be like a higher pay. And honestly, though, it's just not something that I would want to do. Like, some people could do it. Some people have done it for years. I've done it. I have, like, oh, I just had a brain fart. But, like, I've had so much experience with it, and people, and it's just the pay, past experiences. Like, I just couldn't do it no more unless they pay me very, 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 very well, because having to deal with body parts and, human liquids, it's, and just doing that for 15. They wanted me to do it for 15 an hour, but I was like, no, I'm trying to get my points. I'm like, cause, having my own place, and, why would I want to cut my pay down short? And they're going to make me wait for the benefits anyway. It's not like the benefits are going to be thrown at me like that. I mean, it can be, but it's just, honestly, I think it just depends. But yeah. An EVS worker, it's, like, you will see, like, the most, like, it's like, well, just imagine just working in a like, of course there's different positions in a hospital, but even if you work in a different position, you're going to see, you're going to experience, or like see, like, some wild things that go down in the ER. Like, you will see people getting rushed on gurneys, and it's a lot, like, you'll hear somebody, heard somebody passed away. So sometimes it's so much to take in, especially at work. So it's like, oh, like, man, like, do I really want to do this for a long time? I understand, get your coins, pay your bills, but it's like, this is not something that you would want to do for a long time. You're standing on your feet. You have to know your chemicals. You have to clean from top to bottom. Like, they would make you clean the ceiling. I mean, but it's just regular cleaning, but a hospital clean is very precise. Like, it's very precise, and it's, and it makes the job very stressful. But I understand, though, because you're dealing with different bodies and liquids and body parts and different germs and bacteria. So I understand, but it can be a very stressful job. And sometimes they would want you to clean hospital rooms under like a certain time, basically. And I'm just like, don't throw me a stat. That's what they call stats. Well, basically, like, if they call a room like a stat, that means that you have to like go over there like real quick, and you have to make sure you're cleaning fast and precise. So right after you're done cleaning, they could bring in a patient like right in like that. So they're already in a clean room, clean bed sheets, everything's wiped down. And it's not really something. It's so stressful. Like, the pay was decent, but it's just, honestly, it's not enough. And I've been noticing that people don't show the EVS workers love anyway, because it's like, they're like, when I was, being an EVS worker, it's a really important job in a hospital because you're keeping the hospital clean. And and let me tell you something. That made me just completely, of course, like, I don't want to do it no more, right? So I remember we basically would have to like basically it's like this yearly test or like month, I'm not sure, but we have to make sure the hospital is clean. You have to make sure the rooms are clean and everything. And an inspection. So we had an inspection, and we passed. And tell me why they gave us a pizza party. And so they let everybody go in 2 groups. So you have your first group. I was in the first group, and your second group. And they're like, hey, if it's time for your lunch, you can come to the pizza party. And then when you're done with lunch and everything, then the second set of people can go. And tell me why when the second people went to go get pizza, they didn't have enough pizza. So it's like the fact that we made sure we passed the inspection, make sure everything is clean, just to get a pizza party, and I'm just like, that type of work and stress, that's a pizza party? Like, come on, like, no. And on top of that, usually the lockers are like all the way down. Well, mainly they're all the way down in the basements, so you could be walking down the hallway and you could see a morgue. And that's the thing about working in a hospital, because when you go to a hospital, of course you see people alive, but once you when you work in a hospital, and when they'll have us like clocking in the basement, like all the way in the basement, you will see like you will see a straight up morgue, and it will like definitely like it would like grab your attention real quick, because it's like, dang, like people pass here, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a shock. Well, I don't want to say it's a shocker, but it just tingles up your spine, because it's like I'm working where people like die, and it's like, don't get me wrong, people die everywhere, but it's like it hits home at hospitals, because like that, a lot be going down. And sometimes that environment can be very stressful. And it's not something that I would want to do forever. Not say I just can't do it for a long time. I did it for a while. I worked at a couple of hospitals, and after year, and that's when I call it like the last EVS job that I had. That was the last time like I completely called it quits, because I just couldn't. And honestly, people are messy. People fight, argue, sneak dissing, and you have coworkers that try to act like they're the boss, and it's just no. It's just not it. So, yeah. And it's like EVS workers have a very important job, but they're not treated as such. You know, like having to, you know, me being an EVS worker, having to clean up all these rooms and there's been multiple times where like I had to clean up like the lounge, clean up like the nurses' lounge and the doctor's lounge. And it's so messy in there. Not like messy drama, but it's like, it's literal messy. Like it's plates everywhere, it's cups everywhere, like it's trashy. And it's like we have to go in there and like clean up every, you know, all not say we're in there all day, but we have to clean up after people. And it's like we're not getting paid enough to clean up after people, and people aren't very considerate. Cause I remember when me and one of my coworkers, we had to clean up this it's like the nurse lounge. And when we went in there were just plates and half eating food all over the tables. There was crumbs on the floor. And I'm not being dramatic. I am so serious. And it's like there were crumbs on the floor, half eaten food on the table, stuff halfway thrown away. Like it was a mess. And it's like why we have to clean up after people. It's like you're cleaning up after people every day. You're doing the same thing every day. And I'm just thinking like, you know, dang, like you have a degree, but you can't clean up after yourself. You know what I mean? Like it gets really irritating, and it will definitely drive you crazy. And what else drove me crazy? Oh, and I remember me and my coworker, we had to clean up this operating room after somebody got like a gun wound. And after the surgery and everything, and they took the guy out, whatever, they're like, oh, he didn't make it. But like the way they said it like, oh, whatever, he didn't make it. And I'm like, he didn't make it? Like, at least I don't know the situation personally, but getting shot and making it down, so I was like, it was just like the way they're like, they work in a hospital, they used to seeing it, but me being in that environment, like I've worked in different hospitals, but like in this hospital in particular, like you would see some wild surgeries. And when we had to clean up that operating room after that gun wound, I swear it's like somebody got a gallon, like a water machine gallon of like strawberry Kool-Aid, cherry Kool-Aid, and just splashed it everywhere. But imagine so it was I kid you not, like it seeped in through the operating tables, and you have to be precise cleaning that, the walls, the floor, like it was, and you have to use so many different types of, not say use so many different types of chemicals, but there are times where they're going to teach you how to use certain chemicals. And, if there's a specific if there's a hospital room or a operating room that has a specific bacteria, like for example, like COVID, monkeypox, what else? Yeah, like COVID, monkeypox. You have to use certain chemicals to like take down the bacteria and viruses and stuff. So it's like, and you can't use you can't use one chemical for everything. Sometimes they're gonna make you use sometimes you have to use solidifier when you're collecting blood bags. So when you get when you're cleaning out a room, you get a blood, you get that blood pouch or whatever, and you get the solidifier, you put it in there, and it just like makes the blood solid. So when you throw it away, the blood doesn't splash everywhere. You know what I mean? So you're dealing with a lot of liquids and chemicals in that type of job anyway. So And like, oh, like, it'll just, like, working in the hospital will just make you open your eyes about, like, dang, like, this is life. People are in and out the hospital every day, and it makes you think a little more deeper, you know, because you're in the hospital, you're gonna see sick people, injured people, people on their last bed. So sometimes it can be a lot to take in, but I would have to, like, you know, I would put myself in a different headspace, like, okay, let me just get this over with. I mean, I need to make my money. Finding a job is not, I swear, like, you know, finding a job, you know, it can be a little hard, but it's like, I have to do what I have to do for now so I can get by, you know. And speaking of, and when I mentioned chemicals, you know, cleaning with different chemicals and stuff, I'm not sure what chemical that I use. Like, I mean, I know, but I forgot, because they made me use, like, this type of I forgot. It's been a while, you guys. It's been a while since I've been an EVS worker. And honestly, I remember me and my coworker, we had to gear up. Like, we would have to, and this is when I was working in operating rooms. Me and my coworker, we had to, like, gear up for this room in particular, because this patient was diagnosed with it was hepatitis B and HIV. So we had to, like, you know, and they were like, you know, that person was in the middle, you know, had to get surgery, and then, you know, when they're done with his surgery, they have to take him out. So we have to go in there, but we have to, like, before we go in there, we would have to put on, like, this stuff over our uniforms. We, like, double, triple glove, cover our shoes, and, like, put on our gowns. Or, of course, like, when you're an EVS worker and you have to clean surgery rooms, your hair has to be pulled back in a cap, so your hair doesn't fall, so there's no hair. You know what I mean? They don't want hair everywhere like that. So every time when you're working in the operating rooms, you have to you have to have your hair completely covered. So, and then you know, before me and my coworker have to get into that room and clean, of course we have to, you know, double up. We gotta, you know, get our, you know, double, triple our gloves, and we went in there, we cleaned. Don't worry, I'm fine. So we have to go in there, clean, disinfect. So being an EVS worker, you have to deal with you're gonna be cleaning around different diseases. You're gonna be cleaning a room, and you know, it could be a patient in there with COVID, so you have to go in there, you know, with extra protection on, because you don't want to get sick either. And and it's a lot. It's very stressful, and it's a lot, you know. And what else? What else about that job? Let's see. What else about this job? And also, cash. I'm sorry, my dog keeps barking. Cash. Cash. Go lay down. Yeah. So, cash. I can never do anything. Okay, but yeah. Oh my God, I swear I can't. I can't. But yeah, honestly, I wouldn't do it no more. I would not do it no more. Because honestly, there's no appreciation for. I mean, they'll say they, I mean, from my experience, I didn't really see enough appreciation anyway. So, and it's like with that type of job, they will cash. Okay, so with that type, okay, so with, okay, oh my God. Okay, so with that type of job, you're going, okay, so, okay, so, okay, so with that type of job, you're going to be dealing with a lot of stuff oh my God. Okay, but yeah, those are the reasons why I just can't be an EVS worker no more. Bye-bye.